now I gotta ride or die.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we are driving a Vectra GSI, a car that is a little bit under the radar at the moment, but prices are going up. I know, right? Prices are going up on everything and are staying up. I don't think that these are coming back down, but we're going to go out, see what this thing is like, see what it's about, and maybe the idea of owning one, and you owning one and buying one as maybe a daily, something on the weekend and something to have fun in. But this era of Vauxhall, it doesn't exist anymore. Big engined saloons don't exist anymore. So today we're going to take this one out, see what it's all about. But as ever, guys, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you like car content like this. But onwards to some beat roads. So, 2000 on a V plate Vectra GSI. Now, I remember these cars and this era of Vauxhall very, very well from my youth. A lot of people seem to have big engine Vauxhalls. I mean big engine, not like you see big engine these days. I mean like a 1.4 Corsa, a 1.6, a 2 litre, a 2.5 litre Vectra, and they all made this noise. Because this has a cone filter on it and it is a modified GSI, it takes me back to my youth, this car, very, very quickly. I know it sounds weird, a Vectra taking me back to when I was like 18, but one of my friend's dads had a 2 litre version of this. We put a cone filter on it. It sounded identical to this one. I remember it like it was yesterday. And today in 2022, it still puts a smile on my face hearing that big suction bore noise that you hear from this era of Vauxhall engine with a cone filter on it. Now, this is the 2.5 litre, so we actually did a 2.6 litre variant of this car, about 2.5 years ago now. So it's nice to revisit this platform, but in something that's a little bit more readily available, because I did have a look around this morning and these can be bought, if you want to, if you're risky, as little as 1,500 quid to 2 grand. That will get you, and I saw it this morning, 1,500 quid, 216,000 miles, completely rotten version of this exact car, even in the silver, sat on eBay right now. But on the flip side of stuff, there is one with 37,000 miles on it, same car, £15,000. So, very wide spectrum. Don't get me wrong, that's probably not worth 15 grand, but I feel like there's something here we need to talk about. We need to understand this car, and maybe the idea of owning it for you guys out there. What is it like to drive? What's it like to be around? Inside, we've got Recaro seats from factory, matching the rear bench. They're actually not too buckety, not too overwhelming, but I feel like they make the interior, they make it look a little bit more hyped up than a factory Vectra. You have painted steering wheel in this one from factory, and if we cycle through, you know, a little bit of ownership here, it has a stopwatch. Has a bloody stopwatch in it, which is pretty cool. Outside temperature, we have instant consumption, but interestingly, and I have been enjoying this, and the owner has done a little bit of motorway, a little bit of B-road bashing on the Isle of Wight. He's getting 32 mpg. 32, yes, so that's not really that bad. I was genuinely shocked actually when he said it, and the consumption is in front of me right now, 32.4 mpg, and it's actually showing, if we go down, the range at, I'm going to say we are not a quarter of a tank, we're not on half a tank, so we're in the middle of a quarter and, you know, half. It is saying 178 miles. That's bloody impressive, considering I drive a lot of cars with relatively big engines, and some of them are in, you know, very, very low digits and showing 40 miles range on quarter of a tank. So as an ownership side, I don't think that's as expensive as I was expecting it to be. Very impressive. And again, this one sat at 128,000 miles. It's sat on coilovers, it's on wheels, it's modified, it's got an exhaust system. So this is a modified variant of a GSI that you may not be able to find on the market, but you could create quite easily. It's nice in here, it's comfy. It comes on song very, very well, this car. You know, it comes on, so third gear. We are pacing, we're pacing, a little bit more power, we're going. Yes, it's not ripping your face off, don't get me wrong, but I do feel like there is something here. Styling wise, front bumper, aggressive with the gills down the side skirts, the spoiler out the back. I do feel like it looks not like every other car you see on the roads today, and I feel like the mirrors are really, really cool. I love the look of the mirrors going into the bonnet. So that 2.5 litre up front, about 190 horsepower, say, probably lost a few ponies over the period of the last 20 and a bit years. I do feel like it comes on really nicely. I feel like there is a lot of torque pretty low down in it. Comes on, you know, it isn't like a surge. It does seem to get faster as you go though. I feel like it increases and feels a little bit more torquey as you actually go through the rev. Of course, a bigger displacement is going to feel that way. I feel like at about 4,500 RPM, it's really, really singing. You get a little bit more of a kick. Now, these do suffer with a few problems, as you guys may or may not know. Rust is one of them, so if you are after one of these, check rust, especially around the wheel arches, seals, all that sort of stuff. Every single Vauxhall from this era, any car from this era, is going to have those problems. I feel like these are pretty prone to it. Again, the one I saw on eBay this morning, 1,500 quid, it had every wheel arch was destroyed, the seals were out of it, so that is something to point out. And this era, again, they have a slight flat spot sometimes, especially in, you know, the bigger displacement they are. So this one actually has 4-bar pressure regulator to actually iron out the flat spot, something that a lot of, you know, people in this era would probably know about. That's something that has been done to this one, and again today I can't notice any flat spot. Insurance group's about 30, so it's not crazy in this era. And again, that engine up front, built by MSD at the time, you know, VXR departments say at the time of this car coming out. I think they did a really good job, and it's again gone under the radar. I feel like this car is under the radar again now, even after me shooting the 2.6 litre variant of the car that I drove last year. I feel like, again, we are talking around the same sort of idea, that they've gone up a bit more in price. There's less of them. I think there's, you know, how many left? I think they said there are about 370 left, around that. Automatic says like 30, 38, I think there was. There's really not many of these left, and I know it's not a crazy desirable, oh my god, holy grail car, but there is something about it. For me there is, because I remember these cars from my youth when they were super cheap. Everyone was driving around, petrol wasn't as expensive, and they were quite a big car. You know, you get everyone in it, you could enjoy it, and it was fast. These were fast at the time. I know we are in a world where everything's a million horsepower and 40 turbos. I say it every time, but this era, these cars, this, you know, north of 190 horsepower, say, touching 200 horsepower, this era of car, it was cool, mate. It was really, really cool. And I feel like it's a dying breed. Again, I say this a lot in, you know, cars that I'm driving these days. It's a dying breed of car. Not a lot of people will continue to keep these cars on the road, and that is a massive, massive shame. I know Top Gear, when it came out, just destroyed the whole Vectra range. Jeremy Clarkson didn't like it, and I get that. But there is something about it. Maybe it's me harping back to, again, my youth and thinking, yes, cone filter on a sizable engine in a Vauxhall is cool. I think these are cool. I think it's a dead breed. I think it's, you know, maybe a modern classic in the future. Maybe something you should maybe start looking at. I'm saying maybe a lot, but something that is not going to be done again. Manual big engine saloons don't exist anymore. They don't. And you're not going to get that noise from an electric car, are you? So, with that, leave a comment below. Am I completely wrong? Am I pissing in the wind on this one? Am I just talking jibber jabber because this one time my mate had a cone filter on his dad's Vectra? Is that what we're talking about? I don't know, but leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this era Vauxhall, or even the GSI Vectra, because I do feel like in years to come, this is going to be something we look back on and say, oh mate, we could have bought one of them for cheap, and now they're like loads of money, just like Novas and pretty much every other relatively fast Vauxhall from previous eras. But make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you have a car like this and you want to get it on the channel, hit me up, JamieFYD, on all social media platforms. But thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you all on the next one.